Good morning, Premier. Good morning, MEC, MMCs, members of the mayoral committee, CEOs, the HOD. My name is Jerima Telesi, and I'm responsible for corporate services at DHET.
Sorry, folks, good morning. Kiberet Marobe, the owner of Kamu Safari, CEO. I thank you.
Good morning, Zia Kasim. Morning, Premier. Morning, MEC, honorable members. Zia Kasim from Communications at DHET.
Good morning, Premier. Good morning, MECs, MMC, members of mayoral committee, CEOs, all protocol observed. My name is Jablan Kambule, and I'm the Regional General Manager for O.R Tambo International Airport and Bram Fisher International Airport. I represent Airports Company South Africa, sent here by Ms. Mpumi Mpofu, our Chief Executive Officer.
Good morning, Premier, MEC, MMC, mayors, all protocol observed. My name is Jonathan Denga. I'm the acting CEO for the Northwest Parks and Tourism Board. Thank you.
Duela Mahaisho, Makolo, Jamaka. Kalina Kibitumala Kalenge, acting CEO of Northwest Board.
Good morning, Premier, MEC, all MMCs that are here, councillors, also business colleagues, officials from local, provincial government, and of course our AXA colleagues, our fiscal hostess. My name is Korombi Matibe. I am the chairperson of the Northwest Parks and Tourism Board.
Yeah, thank you very much. I believe that you all know the MEC and the Premier, unless if you are not coming from Honorable Premier. But for Idade from the airport, allow me to introduce to you the MEC for DHET, Medizalem Kupane, and our Premier from the Northwest Province, Ndate Lazarus Mokhosi. Yes. So without wasting any time, we are going to have remarks from the MEC of DHET. Honorable MEC.
No, thanks, Majoro. Without wasting much of your time, let me also welcome all of you to this very important session. I'm taking it that this session could have been conducted right where we are interested in, but because of some conditions, we felt that it's better to handle it here. We just cross the road to go to the main part of the Premier. Premier, like you have ordered us when you assume responsibility of leading government that we must find a way to do things different because we are leading at a very difficult time where our people are waiting for us to do miracles under the circumstances. We have always been guided by research and the collaborations that we had with the universities and intensified research in the department that whatever that we do must be responding to the priorities of the 7th administration and that you have embedded in the PGDS of the province. Part of the strategies that we had was to start to find a way to structure our marketing. We are agreeing with you, Premier. We had a session where we were agreeing with you that as much as we will be going out to different countries to mobilize investors, what is that for and for who? We are assisting our people with equipments. We have empowered a lot of SMMEs. We have collaborations with those that are in business, be it trade and sector, be it tourism, and all these other operations of government. But how do we as a department put a center where we can say we can be accessed by investment? Be it when we are in a meeting, when a person passes through a window, and that's why in your expo you have introduced transformation that leads us to a better way. of doing things through digitalization. And this department has taken a lead on saying we want to come to this point to take advantage of the G20. We want, as the Northwest, to strategically position ourselves, because even if we are not the main host of the G20, but our interest in driving the agenda is to make our SMMEs to be accessible, make those who are in business and who are having interest in our operation to be accessible, make the whole government to be accessible in terms of so many initiatives that we have as the Northwest. And that's why, Premier, we have called you today here to bless us in this initiative of getting a corner that we call Business Connect Hub, that can link us with any investor at any point in any way. It is a strategy that is going to provide, I think the HOD and his team and the CEOs will give a detailed brief on the first stage. It is going to be in stages, but the first stage that is immediate is where we are going to plug our potential SMMEs that we think will be attracting investors. That, Premier, we are also preparing to make them meet you, those who will be raising their hands, to meet you in your investment summit that is to be held early this year, including the tourism summit as well as the biodiversity that we are going to have. Now, allow me, Program Director, to hand it back to you. If there are other content that needs to be outlined here on how we are going to run it and what it means, it will come from the head department and the CEOs. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. And maybe on behalf of the people of Northwest, thank you for heeding out to the call of making sure that we position our province as the Northwest. So as you all know that government do not have money. That is why many at times the president of the country is even encouraging us to work with private sectors. So by Northwest positioning itself by opening this hub so that the people of Northwest also get an opportunity like any people from any other province. This is a very important milestone as we close the Mandela Day, a present to the people of the Northwest to say, we have listened to you and we are now going to make sure that we represent you and you access the opportunities, the investment as well. So we are going to have presentations. I believe that you are having something to write on. We are going to listen to all the presentations, and if there's anything that you will want to ask or clarity seeking question on the presentations or something to propose on the presentations, I think you must just note it down, and then after all the presentations we are going to have discussions and we take it from there. So according to our program, the first presentation is a digitalization of the Northwest Growth Hub. I'm not sure who's giving us the presentation.
Thank you. Good morning again, Premier. Let me see. Executive Mayors. I hope I've observed all protocol. MMCs and LDs and all as well. Premier, if I could just take you through what we envisage at the department on how the system at O.R Tambo as a pilot project system, or the first phase, as MEC had mentioned, would be rolled out. It's not an intricate detail on how internal ICT structures will be worked. It's just a broad example of how we are going to be running it. If we can go to the next slide. So the core idea behind this is the marketing and branding efforts of this digital platform, especially with small, medium, micro enterprise businesses. Previously, this was a tourism office. It's now being changed to not only tourism, but investment promotion, conservation efforts, as well as SMMEs, enhancing SMME profiles. It will also advance our provincial economy through digital mechanisms. Next slide, please. So the first phase of this, Honorable Premier, is that these digital kiosks that we envisage to be rolled out to O.R Tambo Growth Hub. These digital kiosks are located strategically at the hub so that investors, SMMEs, consumers, whoever comes through the hub, they'll be easily able to access any business located in the Northwest. The cable is... Yeah, okay. No, thank you. Sorry about that, Premier. So, back to the next slide. The functionality of these touchscreen displays. It will be in the form of a directory. You'll be able to insert what kind of business you are looking for. Not only what kind of business, but what type of product. Usually when consumers go on to Takealot or other platforms, we don't search for businesses, we search for the type of product. So when you know the type of product, this system should link you directly to that product, even though the business is displayed as well. But the key component of this is the listing feature. By name, by product type, by details of products, investment opportunities, and the like. I think MEC has also alluded to that as well. And it will also, back to the previous slide, it will also feature a whole list of items that we will include on there with regards to how it has been supported by, for example, the department or CEDA, those kind of things as well. The integration with advertising. MEC highlighted in the budget speech that the Growth Hub will leverage QR codes, especially within the platforms of malls, where these businesses, from the very same system that's on the screens here, can be also synchronized with malls so that the QR codes can be easily accessed as well. The next slide, please. So this is the platform that we are envisioning, MEC and HOD, and Premier. It will have all the profiles loaded onto the system, preloaded on the system. But we also want web integration. The kiosk should not be a standalone item. It should be able to navigate you to a broader web portal where more details are put onto that portal. So we envisage that once you get to this kiosk, because people when they go to a mall, they type it into a kiosk, but then the information is just stored in your mind. Here we want you to be able to take that information with you with a QR code, scan the QR code, it is now on your phone. The business listing, whatever you need, is currently on the phone. Next slide, please. So the web portal or the screens that will be located at O.R Tambo should then divert to a web portal. The same image will be, or the same system will be mirrored on the web portal, which is available 24/7, accessible from anywhere in the world. And that will be a vital point of the Growth Hub's digitalization process, not just for the store or the front, but for entire web platform. Sorry, just to go back a second. It will be enhanced content. The web platform will offer more comprehensive profiles for each business, as we've mentioned before. And then in future, when we roll out in phases, you could also add different features, e-commerce features. HOD has also alluded to that, as well as certain areas of regulations. If you want to, for instance, communicate with businesses about certain areas, these businesses are now on a database where you can easily communicate with them. The search and filter, I think I touched on this, Premier. It will be easy to access these businesses by their product listing, as well as their name and other search criteria that we are using. Next slide, please. So this is the QR code integration, Premier. As also as MEC alluded in the budget speech, that Rema Ponya has also come on board with this, whereby these same profiles from the system of the web portal and the digital screens at O.R Tambo can be then used for malls where people walk past and see Northwest businesses as they go along. Also with the QR code system. So the kiosk to web issue is the greatest thing that we thought this system could have. So that kiosk, the physical kiosk, will also display the QR codes as I've alluded to earlier, Premier. And that QR code should link to a more enhanced business profile on this very same web portal. So that you don't get only the information from the kiosk, but you get a full synopsis of what this business is doing, the investment potential on an online platform as well. The next one. So the pilot objectives are simple, Premier, is to digitalization of SMMEs. Currently, our SMMEs in the province have certain issues with just creating a QR code for maybe their Facebook page or maybe their website. This system aims to augment that. So instead of having a QR code listing to just maybe somewhere online where you don't have a huge presence, this can enable that presence online, and you'll be further enabled to take that QR code from the system, and plug it at your place of business, on business cards, even on your phone, so that you can also use it as a business listing profile. Easily, when you show somebody your phone, they scan the QR code, your whole business listing pops up on this portal that we integrate. Next slide, please. So it will also do biz-to-biz connections online. Businesses will be able to speak to each other on that platform to see investments. Sometimes when small businesses are not able to get a certain amount of products, they could maybe leverage this platform to network with each other and get the amount of products that may be needed. So the leverage points that we are seeing for this platform, not only as the directory, Premier and MEC, is that we can leverage on social media platforms, on all our NWPG social media accounts, whereby if everybody pushes to market this, we would have a broad spectrum of people entering the system as well. This system could also, in future, at later stages, be used for research purposes of these businesses. So if a certain department wants to conduct research surveys, they could put a call out to these businesses, and then there would be a data collection point of all of this data. Government using the business platform to speak in one voice, whereby maybe SMEs might be located under AXA or DIRECT or another department. This will allow everybody to communicate in one voice as the Northwest Business Digital Hub. We also envisage, Premier, that if we do this, we will align developmental programs within departments so that we all are pushing in one forward motion. A revenue collection, which MEC called me about this morning as well, but I think somebody will tackle it. We just mentioned it here. It's also a platform when you can enhance. When a business is small and you grow them to a certain potential, you can then enable that business to afford to buy advertising on your platform, so that business also generates revenue for you and other businesses as well, because it's important. I have not run this past my bosses, so actually I apologize if I say something, but the next phase, Premier, if I may, is that this system can be leveraged so well for government calls for applications as well. So in future, if the directory part is there as well, it could have all forms, for instance, call for empowerment fund applications, call for general dealer support. It can be done on one system. Instead of every department having it on their little systems, we might be able to push it there, but that's a far vision. It would be rolled out in phases as well. So actually, I apologize if I didn't mention that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. We're going to have the next one by Ms. Ufamolota from NWPTB.
Good morning, and apologies for coming late. I'm sorry, Premier, that you got here before me. I'm sorry, MEC, that you got here before me. But when you control the pace, you can decide.
You were not aware that you came late,
No, MEC was aware. She asked me, where are you? I was still sorting out the invoices there at the front, so you came into it. Good morning once again. I'm going to take off my I do not have a slide to show, but I am going to speak to what, when I got a call late last night, what I put down on paper, and then I actually realized that I actually need a driver now who will drive me while I'm doing stuff. Mr. Denga, are you listening? I don't actually Mr. Denga first. Yes, what we as a Northwest Parks and Tourism Board have actually come to appreciate is the collaboration that is actually sitting here today. Because when I arrived at Parks Board, I honestly wanted to cancel this office space that is here, because I didn't understand why I must pay out so much money at the end of every month and still not see what is in it for us as the Parks Board. Because as you might know, I am the CFO and I am about money. What am I spending money on and what am I getting Then I was told the office has 2 people, they're sitting there. I said, what are they doing there? I didn't understand because I'm not seeing anything. But then this opportunity came to say, maybe we can then share the cost of running this small office space with our fellow department, which is DTEC. But then I then thought we can then also extend it to the SMMEs that are operating within the tourism space in the Northwest. Because if you are running a tourist attraction business, you don't necessarily have the funds to rent out an office space so that when somebody lands here from Zambia or wherever, they can then see that we've got this thing that is happening in the Northwest. So then we would then be, okay, we will be, and we are going to be the conduit between the international market, the national market, and then the Northwest. Because if I land here and I don't even know where Northwest is, to be honest, why would I even look up anything on the internet? Something has never come up to my face to say, look, there's this thing that is happening in the Northwest. And I think we just need to then, unfortunately, we're going to charge you, nothing is for free, because we are putting out your products to the market. We are allowing you a least free opportunity for you to advertise what you are offering the international market that arrives in the O.R Tambo. So we will be giving you the nice tariffs that we'll be charging you. If you want to come and put your pamphlets at our office space, you will do it, but it's not for free. Because if somebody comes in and picks up a pamphlet that talks about Mangwe game checkers, it's advertising, and you can't advertise for free. Whereas I'm incurring the cost of you being seen by the world. Yes, my mandate as the department is to promote tourism in the province, but I need the money to do it, unfortunately. And the issue that we've had is that because of the lack of money that we have at the department or at the entity, certain things we've been shying away from doing because we don't have the money to do it. And unfortunately, CFO will always say, but why must we do this thing? I want to sell, like I'm here to sell everything that we do. Because there's people that we need to pay to sit here and give people information about the Northwest and give people information about what is actually available for them to come in this province. So, unfortunately, because we are all working together to promote the province, to put it out there to the market, there will be that. And then when I extend the selling of the space, not only to the people in the Northwest, I understand there were pamphlets that belong to a group or somebody there in our space, and it was like a tit for tat type of situation. But a group knows what they're doing. They knew why they are giving us that thing to say, hey, we can borrow you this, but they knew that they are putting themselves out there. But Runa, at the end of the day, we are like the little person there in the corner, just sitting there occupying space and paying the rent here, but you're not getting anything. Nobody's actually coming and saying, let me click and see what is happening in the Northwest. We are just relying on whoever knows what is happening in the Northwest, unfortunately. So we need, and we are going to do it, then we are going to allow the SMMEs to showcase their projects at our little, it's a small space. Obviously, we don't want you to come and camp there. You can't because there's not enough space. But if your products are there, I think your job is literally half, your marketing is halfway done. And you can do it at a fraction of the cost that you would do if you were to come and showcase your stand here at the O.R Tambo as yourself. Obviously, it's going to become costly if you're a small business in the Northwest having to place somebody here on the footer, but we are already here to offer that support. And the office has been rebranded, so to show that we are together. It's not just about the Northwest Parks and Tourism Board, it's about everybody who is within the DTEC. And we are then saying we are opening up ourselves to the SMMEs that will then put their products there at a fee. And then we're also going to look at, I think Zia has already spoken on it, this advertising space. Not only to us, we're going to have some digital screens that will show, like, you know, sometimes you see, like, one product comes on for like a few seconds, then somebody else comes. Things that are not necessarily only in the Northwest. That's how we want to attract revenue. Because if people are given the opportunity to put out their product to as much as a bigger audience as they can, they will definitely want to do it. So we're going to open up that space to say, if you are in wherever you are, Pretoria, wherever you are, and you want somebody who would walk into the Northwest booth at least to see your things without you having to be here, we are going to allow that for that to happen. It's not a long talk that I'm going to have, but all I'm going to say is yes, we are going to help you, but you're going to pay us. Thank you very much. Hey.
Thank you very much. There's no way that you can be a CFO and not talking about payments. They must pay you. The next presenter is UFM, SMME Clinic, Tebogo Machine.
UFM Business Hour with a program that we're running. So I'm just giving 3 minutes just to explain what we're doing and the partnership that we have with other private sectors. So it's very complicated.
And the purpose of our show, UFM Business Hour, initially it was just to compete with other stations like Okaya FM, Lebo Power FM, but we repositioned ourselves. We know that the biggest employers in the economy are small business owners, and we realized that there's a huge gap in the Northwest, especially at ground level. So we're the ground soldiers, we're the guys who get in touch with the small business owners, the informal guys, the small and micro enterprises on the ground that need the opportunities. So we put them on radio, we profile them, but most importantly, we also do a lot of enterprise and SME development on the ground. So we've been thinking about how do we drive impact in the Northwest Province? How do we make sure that it's not just another show? How do we make it the best show in South Africa? And there's no way that can happen if we're not partnering with public sector and the private sector. So one of our key initiatives that we'll be driving through the show are SME clinics. We'll be doing a roadshow across the province, and it's intended to make sure that the average small business owner is compliant. Why? There's the Continental Free Trade Agreement that exists. And a lot of us who are small business owners don't even know where to start. You don't know what to do if you want to get your products into Zambia, because the information exists at the higher level, and it's quite clear. And I'm excited to hear when I hear from some of the speakers here that there's plans in place. But the average person on the ground, looking for Pukem or wherever in the province, doesn't actually understand, but the information doesn't even cascade down to them at that level. So it's an opportunity for us to position ourselves from a Northwest province to make sure that the show drives impact on the ground for youth unemployment, for SME job creation, and to make sure that there's a lot of formalization so that they can be included in a lot of the economic development opportunities that exist. One of our major intentions with this program is to make sure that then we then celebrate them at the end of the year. Of course, South Africa this year has got the G20, and we are in the presidency. I happen to be one of the task force members under the Rural and Township Planning Committee, and we worked on the policies. We had the Startup 20 right here in OR last week. And the intention now is, how do we make sure that we profile these SMEs, put them on the map, and then get them ready for export readiness? More than anything, it's like, how do you export your goods out of the Northwest? What sectors really thrive there, and what can we do to make sure that you're well positioned? And how do we use the show as a mouthpiece, just not for the province, but also for the small business owner who's on the ground? So that is our call to action. We do have private sector participation, and our big ask here is, can we collaborate? Because collaboration is the key driver of everything that makes things move forward. I'll hand it. All right. So my MT wants me to talk about the 3 C's, right? We believe in a 3-legged pot. There's compliance. That's one of the key legs. If an SME is not compliant, they can't participate. It's like driving a car. If you don't have a license, you can't get on the road, right? And then the other one is cash flow. So we work a lot with making sure that they are participating, for instance, in enterprise development programs, so that they can be formalized, and once they are ready, they can gain access to funding, because a lot of them are excluded just purely because of multiple mitigating factors, like credit worthiness, they don't qualify, so we try and assist with that. And then the third one, so it's cash flow, it's compliance, and it's customers. You can't do anything if you don't have customers. You're not running a business. And a lot of the micro and small business owners, as well as medium, are running businesses that they rely on like one client. Maybe it's a mining client, they're getting purchase orders from them. And you find that maybe they're doing a 36-month contract for like, I don't know, we can say 30 million. But when you actually start interrogating them properly, they don't have a business. They're literally depending on POs. So we try and make sure that they're capacitated accordingly. you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, UFM. The last presenter will be that Jabulani Kambule from AXA.
Good morning, everyone. Mela. And I think for me, it's not really a presentation. It's really for me to issue a message of support on behalf of Airports Company South Africa. As the Regional General Manager for O.R Tambo, as well as Bram Fisher, which is in Bloemfontein International Airport, Northwest, it's also a region that falls under my management, as well as Limpopo and Mpumalanga. So I'm very, very excited to be here and see the launch of this Northwest Growth Hub, which to us we believe that it is a beginning of a step in the right direction for us to establish a similar organization like that of the Western Cape, which is the Cape Town West Grove. I think you know Western Cape West Grove, as well as Durban Direct. So these organizations, what they do, their primary focus is to market their provinces and their cities in particular around the world in terms of growing tourism. I am currently busy with the Gauteng Air Access Committee. We are establishing one for Gauteng, and we would really like to get in touch as well with colleagues from Northwest to establish this, because the primary focus as Airports Company in South Africa, our contribution to economic development is that airports are a catalyst to economic development. We need tourism. One aircraft, it is said, according to research, landing in any province will create a minimum of 10 jobs. So we are also very excited to find ourselves as Airports Company in South Africa participating in one of the processes of running one of the airports in the Northwest. And we would be very much keen to run that airport and bring change and improve air access between Northwest and the different provinces within the country. So it is very key for us to participate into that particular space. I can't wait for that process to complete so that we can contribute and improve tourism and economic development in the Northwest. On behalf of our CEO, Mpumi Mpofu, and myself, we welcome you here at O.R Tambo, and we are excited about the Northwest Growth Hub that is here at O.R Tambo to showcase tourism and economic opportunities as well as SMMEs of the Northwest. We are also here to say to you that in all those small businesses, we do have kiosks, mobile kiosks at the airport, for which we can enter into discussions with those small businesses and showcase them here at O.R Tambo, if there are any products that they wish to showcase from the Northwest here at O.R Tambo. And with those words, Premier and MEC and colleagues, I thank you.
Now at discussions, you've been listening carefully. Are there any clarity-seeking questions? Any comments? Comments are allowed as well. Before I allow both the Premier and the MEC to come in, especially those that are not coming from the DDEC. I think at DDEC you know where you are, where we are. Comments? MMC from Madrid.
I'm a manager.
Oh, manager.
Yes. Thank you very much, Program Director. I'm a manager in local economic development, and from Madibeng we brag agriculture. We produce a lot of vegetables, and we have, I think, the most attractive tourism sites around Bojangala, Hartbees, Dam. So we're very excited about this hub to assist us in marketing. It will really expose our potential, and it will also empower our SMMEs. I'm also interested in the clinic. I just want more clarity on the clinic and when is it coming? Because we're really experiencing challenges with our spaza shops and SMMEs. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Amaisi. Any other questions, suggestions? Katamaro?
Honorable Premier, MEC Yaka, Baheso. This is long overdue, MEC. And my heart bleeds when I see ourselves, Northwest Parks and Tourism Board, being on position 6 or 7. Premier, 5 or 6 years ago, we used to be on number 3, MEC. And me as Bernard Marobe, I love my province. And MEC, with Premier, I'm putting my neck on the block to say, we are not sitting on our laurel. I'm a private sector. I've created a lot of employment, and I'm growing. And the small, medium, micro enterprises are the backbone of any country. Whether we like it or not, you spend money on us, we're going to get a very good return of investment. Last 2 weeks ago, I had a meeting with my acting CEO. I said, if Pilansberg go down, Cabo Safari go down. If Pilansberg grow, with those roads start, we're going to attract more investors. We are going to attract more customers. And Pilansberg grow, and Cabo Safari employ more people. CFO, I'm taking your hands off. I'm on board. I don't know whether you want me to go 30 or 50% with you. I'm glad my Jeep tour chair is here in the Dengwe. Let me see. We've got about 30 tour operators called Jeep Tour. This is our chairperson. We are every day. You came with which car today?
With your car.
Every day, MEC. We've got about 8 or 9 vehicles taking the tourists here to our province. And if CFO and their team acting as CEO support us, we are going to create more jobs. Honorable Premier. I was listening to my colleagues here talk about 3 C's. I'm going to talk about 3-legged pot as well. MEC, you are not sitting on our laurel. We have created a very important primary objective in our province. Is to stimulate ecologically sustainable economic activity based on wildlife through a joint venture operations, including ourselves, private sector, government, through our GSI, Northwest Parks and Tourism Board, MEC. And the third legged is community. Because we want to see our community premier benefiting directly and even indirectly. Create a very conducive environment, MEC, for us. Get money to build those roads at the Pilansberg National Park. We are going to attract us, private sector. Don't undermine us. We might maybe be ladies wearing the short pants, but we are investors, Premier. I've invested more than 60 million. Next month, in 2 months, I'm building accommodation. I'm going to employ 30 people. Is it not employment, MEC? So, Premier, the investors are not only Indian. The Indians and the Chinese and the white people. Bernard Marobe is an investor. And I want to be called by that because I've just get the loan from NEF. And then there's some money, IDC. But they're never going to give you if you don't comply with those 3 C's these gentlemen are talking about. Because they're taking Mugomesuru money and lending to Bernard Marobe. So that's how it should work. Previously, I thought the government are racist. They are not racist. They are borrowing my Mr. Kambule's money. So they've got to make sure that those 3 C's they are talking about, it is extremely important. And once the CFO you have put your money on those roads, we are going to invite us to invest our money and even maintain those lodges or safari vehicles or what. So really, colleagues, I'm going to support you, Premier. And we need investment. Let the people come and play. Talk is cheap, money buy whiskey. And it's nice to see our people working. in 3 years' time, I want to see ourselves acting CEO, at least on position 4. Mr. Kambula, I'm taking your words on. I'm going to have a meeting with you. I'll take that offer through my chairperson, and that then we're going to really support you. Honorable Premier, I thank you.
I thank you very much. That all is not lost. That is why we are here. The MEC said it earlier on. We are now positioned in the Northwest. And if we're working together, the collaboration that is in here, we need to support each other, because together we can do more. So, and I'm also glad that the UFM is here, MEC. You know, media, we see it as those that are only talking about the negatives, especially in government. So I'm glad that even what you are doing from UFM, you are going to make sure that you are a mouthpiece of the community. And then all those perceptions about media will end. Of course, negatives will always be there, will be communicated, but let's communicate more positives so that we attract investors in our country. There's no one who's going to invest in a country, there's lawlessness, there are all those issues. We don't attract the investors. So Northwest will never be the same again. Any other submission? Okay. As we welcome you. Yes.
Thank you. Ritumetse se se diragalang ke nna Tebogo Nare from Naretos, chairman ya Greater Rustenburg Operators Cooperative. Ke bereka le Jeep Tower le Merara go pina ka fa ke secretary ya tare mo disata. Ritumetse ntse re emetse office ena re bereke ka re tlhola re misa the guest ka ntlha ya communication. Now we are behind Northwest Premier. Tumetse go atlanegisa stadium sa kwa Rustenburg gore se tla nna pila le team ya rona ba gaetso e bone gore mmereko nna montsi ke ile ka yo utlwa dikgango thoko tsa PSL di-team tse tsotlhe tse di travela ka di-plane tse di ka di-bus go ya le distance yaanong matsapa ga go premier tlile ka nako e siame le gore di-team tsena di go communicata le rona re itse gore tla be re ira mmereko montsi le community ya rona e tlo ja go utlwana ra leboga ba gaetso we are behind the government major ke bereka thata emisi o tlhagola thata toropong o ikhutsenyana ka itirela ka jeko ya le ditoropo tsa rona ba gaetso re bone letsemane bolotse go a cleaniwa ga re sana di-complaini ke tlhola ke mokwalla mo Facebook ke re we are behind you re a kolomaka le rona ke sona seo gore batho ba bone ga tle re bua ka tse di kopele ge motho a mpotsa gore na rokile o ke re no o setse faele a kgale botshelo bo a ke sa bophela di phela bontšha yaanong ke fana re phela bophelo bontšha ba Northwest ke re support ke yo le rona re teng ba gaetsho halala Northwest halala
MMC Mama Kero. Yes, Noka Telemuhammadiro Premier and MMC.
Make somebody who but I'm provoked that they to say when we were at tourism in Daba, indeed investors were complaining God the Blansbeck internally the rules to say the rules are very they are feeding with the association that the Tower to say, can't you do something? So we've been engaging the game track and I want that the Tower to say, have people who can maybe assist making sure that the road are accessible. So they're with us at all given time when that they are always there. We saw a Premier Malabaka the king, the club where le fetsa go bina ele. Yes, dikoloi tsa Ntate Marobe were out to transport. So Premier ke nagana gore they are there for the community tsa rona. Ha re ka ba thusa fela to say we are with you, they are with us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, MNC, for the submission.
Okay. Ke dumedisa gape bagolo ke Patrick Ngwe, Chairman of the Pillsbury Chocolate Association. Ke dumedisa Premier, MEC. Majoro, ke local opportunity. Nna ne ke ena fela mo sa MMC sa safety ya lekgalo. Because the problem is gore ntse le ga re ile go window wa Cape Town, we still keeping the same complaints tsa dihampo tse di mo lekgalo. So we go fela thuso ka tsone, then maybe go invade the standard dams they were right, because those ones they really our tourists but so up not on the dams because of high data, because we stop us straight, then whoever the criminals they attack them immediately.
Any other submission? Yeah. So I will allow the response from the presenters. Is there anything that you would want to respond to? But most of submissions, mainly the comments, not necessarily questions, I get. And then we have noted what you are saying about Zelayela Khalong. Sandra is busy with the road, we are busy with maintenance. And then we're going to deal with those humps. So it is noted. Maybe let me allow the Premier to come in. Okay. MEC will want to come in.
No, thanks, Majoro, and sorry for that. I think I want us to agree that today we have invited, we actually brought the Premier here to do the work of handing over this as part of his pronouncement in his priorities of government. But it is important, Majoro, to give clarity on what exactly is this. This is what we need to clean the minds of the people to have an understanding of it as a passport fee. This is a launch of a new corner that is at the airport that belongs to Government of Northwest. That is why it is not blessed by the chairperson of the board, nor the CEO, nor the MEC. It is now a government thing. It is here to profile the Northwest, especially that Premier is saying, our people are hungry. And we need to start to bring systems. The systems that we are bringing are the systems that are embedded. Key strategies, the Premier says, pronounces officially the PGDS. It means we are going to do things differently. I don't know what I say for body pampiri. It's no longer about that. Like the CFO is saying, you put one piece of paper, how much are we charging you? But what is important here is to understand also a lot of money that we are spending as government on marketing, and yet there's no return on investment. The marketing in this case, we have taken a posture as a department to be the marketing pillar of government. We're no longer going to market in a little corner called Parks Board, a little corner called Gambling Board, or even a little corner called any other department. But his government is going to open this corner for marketing of his province, especially on investment, be it trade, be it any other sector, be it agriculture, be it anything. What is important is also to understand that even those who are in business, we're going to regularize. We are already working on getting into amending our legislation. Meaning if you under the Bennett Marol, we have already tabled before Parliament the plans, Sarona, and how we are going to deal with issues of concessions, which in this case, even those who are traversing are also forming part. We are going to re-look into the contracts that we have, look as to whether it is bringing in what belongs to us, and of course we commend those that have been so consistent in this case, we are now going to get everybody to be with us. And what is important is to agree that this moment, Major, is the moment where we are going to flag for the G20. We are actually, Premier is actually saying we are ready. We have already SMMEs that we have supported, that we strongly feel that they are ready to can be marketed internationally. I'm told the Chief Director acting is going to take us through. In different, be it engineers, be it those that when the investors come and you collect them, that they Bennett Maro, you will then share with them, they will have access, you will now have to agree with us that you must caution them to get to our corner. So that as you get your car taking them, the corner then reflects on available business opportunities that we have. We are also welcoming the submission here, Madibeng and Rustenburg. Actually, the categories of SMMEs that we have put there, we want to start to profile and incubate and do aftercare processes to those that we have supported. We've supported a project in Madibenyadi Citrus that are ready with trucks. We have given them trucks and everything. We want to take them now to start to market internationally. They have everything. We have tested their product. All these tour operators, we are going to have a session in Sun City. Sun City has already agreed because we also want to agree that how do we sustain the business opportunity for you, because we also want return on investment and sustainability. We have to support you as much as we want to collect from you. How do we give that support? And then Rustenburg, Leonard is coming from there. Orbit, we already received a correspondence. They want a meeting with us. MEC Zozo has also raised that with us. It is our opportunity as a department and government. We are going to give that support. We will not say much because we have not engaged as yet, but through the municipality collaboration and Moses Cotton and Rustenburg, Premier has ordered us to reach out and to be in that space. Lastly, is on Pilanesberg. Plans are in place. I think it's a matter of 2 months or so. We will be calling you, Premier, to come and deal with the issues around our Pilanesberg operation improvement, not only on infrastructure, the whole operation except for conservation. We are going to enter into an agreement of concession and bringing investment. That includes a condition of infrastructure development. So that thing is going to come, and at the center will be the prioritization of those who are immediate beneficiaries of the land. We have already structured it. I think in 2 months we will be having the Premier again dealing with how are we bringing in the issue of attending to the infrastructure development of Pilanesberg. So it is a matter that we have done. Lastly, the clinics. The clinics, we are still to finalize engagements with UFM, but UNISA is on par in terms of empowerment and support of our SMMEs. UniWest is on par in terms of innovation and incubation hubs. We are welcoming also EXA on your kayaks, and I think it's something that from here we are going to open discussions with you. We want to collaborate, we want to tap that. We will be reaching out for the second time on benchmarking of Western Cape and Durban Direct, so that this then becomes an improved system compared to the Ronaldo's position one is the Northwest on how we are going to shape up things, because our people are hungry. And the Premier said when we are not talking about his people and his young people, his disabled and his women, you are not talking his language. Thank you, Premier. Thank you for
Thank you very much, MEC, for the response. But we're work in progress again. So I'm going to allow the Premier to give us the remarks.
No, thank you very much, Program Director, Executive Mayor of Rustenburg, MEC Lopopane, and for the sake of time, all protocol observed. we are expected to be in another meeting at 1, and I must still go to the other side. But I'm excited and I'm happy, MEC. The future looks bright. You know, generally, for us to make a change and transformation, we need resolute leaders who are focused and determined and who are prepared to challenge the existing institutional arrangement. Because if you come and then just go with the flow, you will not make any change, especially for those people who have voted for us. So there's a need to have leadership that is prepared to tilt the balance of forces of whether the industry or the system as it stands. But it gives me great pleasure to be part of this great initiative, which seeks to enhance the province's digital marketing and branding capacity. Critically, to reposition our province as a destination for tourism, trade, and investment. Our province is endowed with minerals, resources coupled with a diversified economy which encapsulates agriculture and tourism. In relation to the former, our province forms part of the country's platinum belt, which accounts for 70% of the total reserves in the world. It continues to be the leading source of the world's platinum group metals, the PGMs, and these are used to produce countless medium to high-tech products, including fuel cells, electronics, medical and dental equipment, batteries, and others. The future of industries such as renewable energy, defense, and e-mobility continues to depend on a reliable supply of PGMs. The Northwest Province will remain a critical supplier for some time. In addition to this, there are currently over 300 active mines in the Northwest, contributing about 31% to the province's GDP. Tourism is one of the largest economic drivers in the province, with majestic tourist sites. Our province is also a home to diverse game and wildlife, and it's an excellent place for game farming and trading. It also shares borders with Botswana and several other provinces, strategically placing it for trade and transport and a gateway to the African continent. This is the reason why we should all embrace and commit to the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is one of the flagship projects of Agenda 2063. By January this year, 48 of the 54 AU member states has ratified what is called the Continental Free Trade Area. It is estimated that by 2035, intra-African trade will be boosted by about $450 billion US, lifting at least 30 million in Africa from poverty. It's important also that this initiative opens up our province to a market value of 1.3 billion people and a combined GDP which is estimated at about 3.4 trillion US dollars. Program Director, through this growth hub, we aim to amplify the visibility of the province to this lucrative market by exposing it to our rich biodiversity and unlock growing economic opportunities across various sectors. This program also aligns us with the objectives of the provincial growth and development strategy, which plan to be launched in due course. However, at the center of this initiative is to build a digitally enabled, competitive and inclusive economy which can help the province to address the challenges of unemployment, poverty and inequalities in our communities. It will further serve as a sustainable platform for marketing the Northwest as a premier tourism destination, which also accelerate the development of township economies and promoting localization. With these few words, I wish you all the best. MEC, the leadership is quite all right.
Thank you very much, much, Premier. Indeed, the leadership we have is quite alright. I tell like him, Mokapele. Yes, I'm a Mutsiliniasiam. We must review the army because the army, tell like him, and they are known, and it's no longer the same. You change the Bahai, so I tell like him, Mokapele. So there's still a lot of work to do back home. Today is just a launch, and all of us seated here, let us make sure we're going back home, we're going to make sure that this is a success. Because we can launch, and if we're not going to support each other, if we're not going to collaborate, this can be just a fruitless exercise. So let's go back home and make sure that we position Northwest to where it has to be. Even that they come, maybe they will have to relocate to Northwest. So on that note, we must move that side because it's important for Premier to be with us before we can excuse him for the next meeting. So we'll adjourn and we'll go that side. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We would have to talk the advert that we had. Let's go. That we had. Long time no see.